Okay, this video is a demonstration of the online divorce lawyer service for California divorce lawyers. Keep in mind that after you viewed this video, you can also come back to the top page of onlinedivorce.lawyer. Go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of this page. This is all business to consumer. And click on where it says for lawyers. That'll take us to the lawyer page. Go down and go ahead and scroll all the way to the bottom again. By the way, there's a lot of good information on this particular page. I recommend you take a look, including information on price. There are only 3 areas that are not $397 flat rate monthly, and 2 of those 3 have already been sold. So most of the remaining areas are $397. Continue to scroll down, and that's me. You can come back and look at that if you wish. And go all the way to the bottom, and we've set up a sandbox account where you can actually get more of a hands-on experience with Online Divorce Lawyer. 29176 you can see is the user ID to enter to log in. You can either log in on the client login portal at this address using this client password, or you can log in as yourself, the lawyer, through the lawyer login portal. I'll show you all of this in just a moment using the lawyer password. Okay, this is a sample microsite from Online Divorce Lawyer. This would be something that might be of interest to you if your firm has as its primary website a full service or a general practice type of website where you offer more than one kind of legal service. In other words, you may offer family law, personal injury, criminal law, that type of thing. If you're doing that, it can be a problem, and this may not be a bad solution. Again, this is a very small website, basically 3 pages. You could move either your entire family law activity onto such a site, which we provide, or you could move perhaps just your uncontested practice onto this ODL microsite. If, on the other hand, your firm's regular website is a pure family law website, all the better, and you may need only to place this login button somewhere strategically on that website. You might want it to say client login or something like that. So I'll go ahead and click on that. Here is your client's login portal. We're not going to log in here right now because I'd like to try to take you through a typical case flow on Online Divorce Lawyer. And a typical case flow involves first the account creation. If you drop your cursor to the footer on the client login page, you'll notice that the footer is a link. You click on that link and it takes you to the lawyer login page. You'll notice that the difference on the lawyer login page is that you can log in to 2 separate locations, either the download panel for an obvious purpose, or to go to your control panel where you have an overview of all the case data, case management functions, and case tracking functions. I'm going to demonstrate both of these to you, so don't worry right now. I'm pushing on to account creation, and you drop to the bottom again. The footer, once again, is a link. You click on that footer and it takes you to the account creation page. Which part here is your client? ODL works for both petitioners and respondents in uncontested cases. These linked accounts don't yet work. It's something I've just started to work on recently, and it basically is an e-divorce mediation tool that will be added to the Online Divorce Lawyer service in the not too distant future. Just started working on that now, so it doesn't work. So let's leave the most common situation. The petitioner is the client. You would enter here your secure ODL lawyer password. You control all of the access to your client's accounts with the password that you assign to your client. I'm just typing in the word password. This is your client's email address for the receipt of the account opening email with the client's user ID and password that you've assigned. I'm going to put in my personal email there. Will you be the initial attorney of record? This defaults to a pro se situation. You can change that now at the time of creation, or you can change it later on. Then ODL will prepare a substitution of attorney for you to sign and file. So right now we're just going to leave that on the default settings, and I'm going to click on the account creation button, and that has created your client's account. Right now your client is receiving the account opening email. Let me see if that's come in yet. There it is. This is addressed to your to your client. Here is her client user ID. Here's the password that you assigned. Here's the link that she clicks on to go to the client login portal. So we're going to go back to that client login portal right now. I'm not going to log into the account that I've just created because, of course, that's a blank account. It has no data in it, so it wouldn't be much fun to look at. Instead, I'm going to log into one of the Sandbox accounts. I think that's the right user ID. I'm going to log in as the client at this point. And when your client logs in, this is what she will see. There's always an appropriate welcome message up here. Next, below on the right-hand side, will be the best set of instructions for the particular page that the client is on, always with the best path forward highlighted in yellow. Lower down, you'll see basically just case data. An overview of the case. On the left-hand side, in the client menu for this named client, you will see a list of all online interview pages that apply to the circumstances of this individual case. We don't waste your client's time with interview pages that don't count. This is a highly interactive client menu, and there are basically, well, what I'm going to show you first is that when an interview page has been completed, you'll notice that there's a check mark in the box next to that page. When a page is incomplete, there is no check mark in the box. Now, in preparation for this video, I came to the respondent's address page earlier, and I removed a couple of pieces of data so that this would show up just like that. Let's say that you are the client. You have gone away to find out the missing data. Let's say your respondent's, your spouse's zip code. You found that data, you've come back, you've logged back into your account, and you can do one of two things. You can either click directly onto that page, knowing that's the page with missing information, or you can click on Continue Interview, and that takes you to the first interview page in this list that is in need of some attention. So that would essentially do the same thing. By the way, when your client first logs in, this link here will say Begin Interview, because of course it doesn't make any sense on the first login for it to say Continue Interview. But after the client has entered data, on all subsequent logins, it will say Continue Interview. I'm going to click on that now. It takes me to the respondent's address page. Right here you can see in the red text, it tells you what is missing. and also you can drop down and see via these red asterisks exactly what is missing. So I'm going to put that data back in that I deleted earlier. Respondents zip code 92127, and you'll notice throughout the interview that there are a lot of time-saving devices built in. If you want the respondent's street address to be the same as the respondent's mailing address, you can come over here, just check that box. It'll populate down to the mailing address. You'll notice that the red text telling you what's missing has gone. I can now do one of two things to move away from this page, and this sort of illustrates the two ways that your client can navigate through this interview. I can either click Next, one of the two Next buttons. There's one top and one bottom on each interview page. When you click the Next button, it checks to make sure that the page has been completed. We know this has, so you don't get any red text showing up here, no error messages in other words. It'll just save what you've entered on an encrypted connection, and it will then take you to the very next page in the sequence. You can also navigate the interview, or your client can navigate the online interview by simply clicking on another page. You can go to any other page you want. When you click on that link, again, it will save the data on the current page, check for completion, save the data, and send you to the page that you've indicated. So this is the first page in the client interview. ODL handles opposite and same-sex divorce, domestic partnerships registered in California or not registered in California, and also legal separation. Handles all of those situations. Although it's not designed for contested matters, I have to tell you that on a beta basis only, ODL actually works pretty well in contested cases as well. You can get a lot of use out of it. Not recommended at this point, definitely beta use. So once again, I can either click Next to move to the very next page, check this for completion, save anything that hasn't previously been saved, and go to the next page, or I can click on any other page in the interview to go to that page. I'm glad I clicked on this page because I had forgotten about this. We've built in 3 or 4 helper videos at different strategic locations throughout the interview. These are short, cartoon-based helper videos that tell your clients how to complete that particular page. We've tended to put those on pages that are a little more difficult, perhaps not quite as intuitive as other pages. One of our online divorce lawyers has created her own custom videos for just about every page in the interview. You can do that. We have that ability to take your videos from you on YouTube or whatever and build them into your clients' interview pages. Only your clients will see your videos. Nobody else's clients will see them. The ones that we've got embedded right now, everybody's clients will see unless we replace them with yours. Okay, moving along. When your client has almost completed the interview, and we can see that that is the case here, she can do one of about 3 things to advance the case to document review, and that activates yourself. She can either click again on the continue interview. No pages need attention, so it would bring her to check interview. She can click on check interview, or from the very last page of the interview, she can click on the next button. I'm just going to click on check interview. On this next page, 3 different things are happening. Number 1, the system is checking to make sure all of these pages are complete. We pretty much knew that they were, but it does do another check. Number 2, it checks to see if any time-critical issues are in play. A number of things are checked for. A good example might be if you have a minor child that is within 10 days or 14 days of its 18th birthday. That is something that the client will want to be told about, and there are appropriate warnings and advices given at that point. The third thing that happens is that the system checks to make sure that certain critical data has not changed since the client completed the interview. The system happens not to know. We don't keep track of when the client completed the interview, so the system does not know whether the interview was completed 10 seconds ago or 10 months ago. So it checks for this critical information still being intact and not having changed since that time. If nothing has changed, the client just puts check marks in these boxes, clicks on Proceed to Interview. While your client is reading this, you're actually receiving an email telling you that your client has completed the interview and is ready for document review. You would go to your download panel, which I'll show you in a moment, log in for this client as the lawyer, download the first batch of documents for filing at court to obtain a case number, and then you would review those documents. You download them to your machine. You can print them out if you prefer. You can review them on screen. Then you would contact the client, discuss any existing problems or strategies that remain, and then you can provide your client with the first batch of documents for filing at court. If the package of services your client has purchased includes e-filing, I want to be on the lawyer login here and not the client login. If the court where this case is being filed offers e-filing, then you can activate your e-signature and e-filing third-party services. 29167, I'm pretty sure, is the user ID. We're going to log in to the download side, obviously, and let's see, what do I want to tell you here? There are 3 batches. You can guess what they are. There's the first filing batch, there's the service of process and petitioner's preliminary disclosure batch, and finally the default and judgment batch. If you come up here to the client menu, you'll notice you still have access through the download panel to the online interview. We can close that out. You'll notice also, I showed you before, this drop-down box, the petitioner's first filing batch, proceed to download, is exactly the same as if you click on this link right here. It'll do exactly the same thing. I will show you in a moment. First batch, single doc download, second single doc download, and third batch, single doc download. Right now I'm just going to download the selected first batch. 2 choices here. The batch can have 3 copies of each document. That's suitable for over-the-counter physical filing, or it can have 1 copy of each document, suitable for e-filing. This is a help window that automatically pops up. You can basically just X out of that. You can see this is a Los Angeles case. ODL handles judicial council documents, local county documents, and if your county has any local documents that we're not up to date on, and that does occasionally happen, by all means let us know and we can get those added to the system very quickly. You'll notice that these documents, even though I say it myself, are well prepared. Everything here is very efficiently done. They are fully prepared, ready for your client's signature and dating. If your firm has a particular idiosyncrasy that you would like to have built into your documents for your clients, this is a fully customizable system. You let me know what it is that you want to see different, and I build it in, usually quite quickly, often within a day, and your clients then would have that particular idiosyncrasy applied to their cases just exactly as you want to see it. Okay, I'm going to back out of that right now. Let's see, where do we want to go? I think we want to go to the control panel. I'm going to log out right now, and I'll come back and demonstrate something else momentarily. All right, your client has gone, filed the case. She has now called you back and provided you with the case number and the date of filing. So we're going to log in this time to the control panel to show that happening. And you can actually enter this data on the download panel also, and I'll show you that in a moment. But if you're entering it from the control panel, let me say a few words about the control panel as I'm here. You can see it's an overview of all case data. You have case tracking right here. You'll get to know what each of these designations mean. You have full access, once again, to all interview pages. Let's see, up the top here is communications. Certain things can be adjusted directly in the control panel. Certain convenient things can be adjusted. Let's see, there's a child in this case, so here is the child section. We have built in a what if child support guideline tool, so you can change. Here's the guideline amount, and it appears up here also. You can also change any figure that's in these boxes that have the red background, and then you can change any of those pieces of data. Click that compute button, and you'll see right here what changes based upon the change that you made. What are we doing? I can't remember. We're putting in a case number, right? Your client has called you with that case number and the date of filing. And okay, you will go back to your control panel, but you actually want to download. So what I wanted to demonstrate here is you can move freely between control panel and download. Right, you can go across to the control panel. Here's the data you just entered on the control panel. You could have entered it right here under case stats, and then you click save case stats. I'll show you that momentarily with the date of jurisdiction. I've already demonstrated the batch download function. So right now, let's say that you've already downloaded the second batch and your dog has eaten the proof of service. You click on second batch single doc download. You'll notice that most of these listed documents here are second batch documents. Also a notice of change of address and request for dismissal. That's built in on each batch. Right now we just want to re-download the single document that the dog chewed on instead of printing out the whole 40 or 50 page batch. So here that is, ready to be completed, signed and dated by probably a trusty friend or relative 18 or older, not a registered California process server. Okay, so that has been done, and now we are going to go back to the welcome screen. Your client has called you, and the service of process occurred yesterday. So we're going to enter that. I think I clicked on, yeah, okay. So that is good to go, and we are now going to drop down and demonstrate the third batch download, which will be ready to file, of course, 31 days after the date of service. So again, on this batch you have the option of physical filing or e-filing. We're going to click on e-filing again, just to keep it simple. And here we have the entire default and judgment batch, 42-page batch that you can download, view on your screen, print, provide to the client with any discussion that's necessary. No great point in me scrolling through this. I think you get the idea by now that these things are well prepared and fully prepared. And so I believe there may just be one more thing I want to show you. I'm still on the download panel. Return to welcome is always a good thing to do when you're going to download something else. You'll see a help tip here that tells you that the marital settlement agreement is listed under document downloads. So let's go there, and lo and behold, there that is. Click on that. All ODL downloads of judicial council and local county documents are in the popular PDF format. You probably recognize that. Only the marital settlement agreement, or if appropriate at your local court, the stipulated judgment, are in the even more popular Microsoft Word format. So, all right. So I clicked on the download the marital settlement agreement button. It takes a while to load Word, and there that is. Unlike the judicial council documents and local county documents, the marital settlement agreement, as you will recognize, is a much more, it's a document that often requires a certain amount of customization and tweaking by yourself. And you'll see that as you begin to proofread these documents. It's pretty well prepared. On average, I would say it's probably 95% ready to be downloaded and signed, but there may be certain items that you want to see done in a certain way, and by all means, let me know what those are, and I can add those to your client's marital settlement agreements. Okay, I am pretty sure that I have covered everything that I wanted to cover. You can, of course, stop this video here and read what's on your screen. Yeah, I think I've covered everything on my list. I appreciate you watching. I hope that this has been instructive. And if you would like to contact me with any questions or any concerns at all, please do so at peter.o@onlinedivorce.lawyer, or you can call me at this number, which is 1-800-PETER-O, Peter O-H. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching and listening.